FM Voices to bring you the headline news.
You found the sound. 98.9 Win FM.
We now bring you the Win FM Headline News. The Win FM Headline News is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, KDP Enterprises, The Grange, Carib Brewery, CNC Trading.
Without limits, happy and free. The skin you're in with no apology. The one to seize the day. Grab an LLB. Live, love, be. With LLB. Live, love, be. Live, love, be. Be who you know you can be. Grab an LLB. Live, love, be. Angostura, lemon, lime, and bitters. Live, love, be.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts, offering 24-hour nursing, therapeutic, and residential care for older adults? It's situated at Otley, 7 miles east of Vastair in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodation to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world. Whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous, you can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air. We get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises, telephone number 466-9595.
Protect your lifestyle with Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Till you walk with a low reputation and service for second to none. Securing you is our mission. People that you can trust, your business, property, we got you covered. Motor or personal, whatever it is, we got you covered. 130 years in this business, we've got you covered. For all your insurance needs, visit or call us at 465-2631 or 469-5303. Dealey Walwyn, people you can trust.
The National Assembly meets in emergency session on Friday, 17 April, when government will move a resolution to extend a 21-day state of emergency that expires on Saturday, 18 April. Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris made the announcement in a broadcast to the nation carried live on WinFM 98.9 and other media outlets at 6 p.m. Wednesday.
The new regulations that will come into force this weekend will extend from Saturday morning at 6 a.m. to the following Saturday at 6 a.m. They will provide for a 24-hour lockdown, a total lockdown, from 6 a.m. Saturday the 18th until Monday 20th at 6 a.m. The team has recommended that there be a gradual relaxation of the limited or restricted curfews on Monday the 20th and Tuesday the 21st, and on Thursday the 23rd and Friday the 24th, between the hours of 6 a.m. and 7 p.m. each day. There will be nightly curfews from 7 p.m. each evening to 6 a.m. the following morning. Please note that in the middle of the week, from Tuesday 7 p.m. to Thursday 6 a.m., there will be a further 24-hour lockdown or total curfew.
Dr. Harris also addressed the measures to be implemented for the partial lifting of the 24-hour curfew on Thursday and Friday.
Thursday and the next day, Friday of this week, when the partial curfew days are restored, that the shelter-in-place regulations are still in force. Only essential workers are allowed to leave their homes, or if you must, you can leave your residence to buy medicine, food, or other necessities. The police will continue to enforce the zoning plan that was introduced last week. On Thursday, persons living in Zone 1, that is the east side, will be allowed to travel to Bastia to attend at banks and other money service providers, pharmacies and supermarkets, and food outlets. All persons in Zone 2, West Side, should remain in their residences. On Friday, it will be the turn for persons living in Zone 2, West Side, to leave their residences if they must, and for Zone 1 to remain at home.
He also offered details about the East and West zones.
Zone 1 East Side will comprise all those areas east of a line through the center of 4th Street, continuing north through Victoria Road and extending all the way to the roundabout on the F.T. Williams Highway at the RLB International Airport, just west of Taylor's Housing Development. Then east along the F.T. Williams Highway to the Island Main Road, and including all those areas traditionally known as the East Bastia constituency. Then continuing in a northeasterly direction along the Island Main Road from Connery and Needmos and extending all the way to Sadlers and Lavington. Zone 2, West Side, will comprise all other areas on the island of St. Kitts, from Parsons, traveling via Sandy Point to Bastia, and including all other areas in the Bastia Valley, such as St. Peter's, Central and West Bastia, but of course excluding East Bastia.
On Nevis, similar arrangements are in place.
In Nevis, Zone 3 will comprise the parishes of St. Paul, St. Thomas, and St. James. Persons in these parishes will be allowed to leave their residence on Thursday, the 16th April, between the hours of 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Zone 4 comprises the parishes of St. John and St. George, and persons there will be able to leave their residences on Friday, the 17th April, from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Remember, on any day when one zone is active, the other will be locked down.
The Prime Minister promised that the zone system would be replaced next week.
There will be a gradual relaxation of restrictions, and the zoning plan will be discontinued. 4 days will be made available for you if you must leave your home, but the shelter-in-place regulations will still be in force. This will allow you to better plan how to shop for food and other necessities. That is Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday will be available for shopping and other essential elements to be taken care of with a partial curfew in place. Wednesday will be a full 24-hour lockdown.
Taiwan has donated 40,000 masks to St. Kitts and Nevis. What's being called a significant contribution is intended to assist the Federation in its COVID-19 fight. Foreign Affairs Minister Mark Brantley says the donation exemplifies the strong bond of friendship between Basseterre and Taipei.
The donation yesterday of some 40,000 masks by the government and people of Taiwan to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis is significant. It comes in the midst of a global pandemic, a global fight against COVID-19, and where other nations appear to be insular and are turning only towards their own people. Here again is the government and people of Taiwan reaching out to their allies. I think that our best friends are the ones who know us when we are down, who see and recognize the need and are prepared to come to our aid. And I believe that this donation is timely and it is important. I like to say that diplomacy matters, and this particular relationship has really borne spectacular fruit for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Long live the relationship. Taiwan, as I say, is not only our friend, Taiwan is our best friend, and it has continued to demonstrate that friendship over the years. They say Taiwan can help, and I say Taiwan is helping, and for that we are grateful.
The leader of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, Dr. Denzel Douglas, has suggested that the COVID-19 situation in the country is having much more of a negative impact on some of the poorer people in St. Kitts and Nevis than is acknowledged. Dr. Douglas has expressed concern about the situation and is calling for remedial action by the government.
Although the number of persons confirmed with the COVID-19 coronavirus notification has been relatively small in number when compared with other countries, we find that the economic recession that has been forced by this public health crisis is having a very severe impact on our people. In fact, the last few weeks of 24-hour lockdown has meant that many businesses have been forced to close. Some, of course, of which have closed indefinitely. So many of our young people, so many of those who have been involved in the hospitality industry, so many of our self-employed, such as our taxi drivers, our bus drivers, our barbers, our hairdressers, our plumbers, the electricians, and the hundreds who eke out a living in the informal economy have seen their sources of income virtually disappear. This has had a devastating impact, most especially on those who we will call the working poor, who live by paycheck to paycheck, with no savings to call their own. These are the persons who are in need of immediate help now in order to be able to feed themselves and their families and meet their daily basic needs.
The government has put in place a relief fund to assist full-time and part-time workers who have been laid off because of the impact of the virus. However, the Labour Party leader says those not likely to benefit from that program also merit some attention.
Not all of them are so privileged to be selected to receive these meals. Unfortunately, help is not getting to these people fast enough. And while monies have been earmarked by the government during this crisis, the process to access these funds, that process has been very, very slow. And it has become a barrier to those who are really in need. These are the people who, I think, are finding it difficult to really exist on a daily basis. These are the people to whom my heart and our hearts go out to. These are the people who really need help, urgent help. And I use this opportunity to make a very strong appeal to the authorities to come to their rescue before they eventually become permanently affected, I would say, as a result of the situation.
SKNLP political leader Denzel Douglas.
TVJ News.
Long lines of traffic and scores of people flocking supermarkets were just some of the observations made by our news team. Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced a 7-day lockdown of St. Catherine yesterday after the total number of confirmed cases in the parish jumped to 36. Our reporter Anthony Lugg is in St. Catherine and now joins us live. Anthony?
Thank you, Andrea. Now I'm standing outside the Sovereign Village here in Portmore, St. Catherine, and I'm just going to remove my mask just for this broadcast. No, it's extremely hot here in Portmore, St. Catherine, and one can only imagine what it's like for these persons who are standing here outside the Progressive Food supermarket here in Portmore, St. Catherine, who have been here for close to 2 hours. Some of these persons have been waiting to get inside the supermarket for close to 2 hours, and these residents here are extremely frustrated. Now, one would remember Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced yesterday that persons would be allowed to shop based on their surnames. However, thousands turned up outside to supermarkets, wholesales like this one, just to try and get a grab of some food. You know, persons are telling us they need some water inside their houses, and that is the reality of these persons out here. Now, another important point to make here is that a lot of these persons aren't practicing the social distancing policy. It's extremely difficult because, again, the number of persons outside trying to get inside the supermarkets are so many, and it's extremely difficult. I move now to point out that earlier today, and even now, there was a high pileup of traffic. This is because a number of persons tried to leave the parish this morning, but were stopped at some checkpoints, some along the toll road, some close to Mandela, and some of these persons were even turned back. Yes, they were turned back because they had no legitimate reason for being on the streets. Now, I move again and tell you that the residents here in Portmore, St. Catherine are extremely frustrated. The traffic here is extremely high, and the residents here are asking for something better to be done because they're saying that they will not be able to get the food they want.
Thank you very much, Anthony. Meanwhile, Spanish Town's Mayor Norman Scott is not pleased with how the government imposed the lockdown of St. Catherine. Mr. Scott argues that the municipal corporation was not given enough notice.
The administration is short-sighted in their decision-making.
Chairman of the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation, Norman Scott, reacting to the government's decision to lock down the parish. Last evening, Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced that movement would be restricted for 7 days. The announcement follows a spike in the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in the parish. However, Mr. Scott is not pleased with the move, particularly the manner in which it was done.
This thing catch the people of St. Catherine by night. Is Nicodemus by night catching the people. The Minister of Health called me at 5:45, 5:45 to tell me that a decision has been taken. I'm the chairman of the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation, and if something like this is going to happen, I would have expected the administration to give me the kind of kudos.
He argues that as chairman of the municipal corporation for the parish, he was not given ample time to prepare for the lockdown.
Barbados Today Morning News Update. Over 5,000 hotel workers have lost their jobs as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. The revelation from Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, Rudy Grant, who said this was as a result of 87% of hotels on the island shutting their doors. Grant said the pandemic has had a crippling effect on the island sector, and thousands more were also out of work as a result of the closure of restaurants and tourist attractions.
The BHDA has a total of 79 hotels which provide some 5,161 rooms, and of those, 87% of our hotels, reflecting 95% of our room stock, they have indicated that they are closed. We have undertaken a survey to determine what is the level of staff dislocation, and 60 of our 79 hotels have reported. That represents 78% of the members, and some 78% of the rooms provided by members, and 76% response from our members. Of those 60 hotels, they have indicated that they have employed 6,515 persons, but presently 81% of those persons are not working, some 5,287 persons.
He suggested that even after Barbados recovers from the COVID-19 pandemic, direct tourism services would still continue to be affected.
Even when the curfew ends, my expectation is that the vast majority of the direct tourism services will continue either not to function, and those that do will probably be doing so in a very limited kind of manner. Of course, we recognize that this is a very challenging period. The reality is that we are not going to, in the rebuilding process, get back to where we were prior to the COVID-19 pandemic immediately. But we do believe that through the collaboration with our stakeholders, with our partners, that we can see a rebuilding of this very important industry. We are presently collaborating with the Ministry of Tourism with respect to facilitating training for workers at all levels of the industry.
Despite this, Grant is optimistic the island's hotel and tourism sector would rebound.
But we continue to work on behalf of our members. We continue to be optimistic that though the recovery will be one that is slow and one that is not expected to immediately get back to the level where we were prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, we are confident that we can see a resurgence in business, and that we can put the measures in place to take advantage of any opportunities that may exist once the country reopens.
The Labour Minister commends frontline workers for their efforts during these difficult times. Minister Colin Jordan was speaking following a tour of several supermarkets and hardware stores with Acting Prime Minister Cynthia Bradshaw as the island's new shopping regime went into effect yesterday. He also lauded efforts by supermarket management to put systems in place that allow staff to feel comfortable in what he described as a very uncomfortable time.
We also would want to thank Barbadians and Barbadian workers for stepping up to the plate, for understanding their responsibility as frontliners as well. One of the things that really was apparent to us as we spoke to supermarket management is that there seems to be a communication, a dialogue between management and workers, where management is liaising with, encouraging workers, responding to their fears, and putting systems in place that allow for their staff to feel comfortable in a very uncomfortable time. We are in an uncomfortable time. Workers feel under threat to some degree from the virus, but what we've seen suggests that they understand their position, they understand their role in the country's well-being, and they are taking seriously their need to protect themselves, and so they are wearing their masks, they are constantly sanitizing.
Illegal non-nationals can seek medical care without the fear of being deported. The assurance from Home Affairs Minister Edmund Hinkson to persons without permission to live in Barbados but become ill as the country battles the deadly COVID-19 virus.
This is Al Jazeera.
Living in a quagmire, a Ribat camp in Yemen's southern region of Lahj hosts nearly 400 families. They fled the fighting in the western city of Hudaydah nearly 2 years ago, escaping with their lives but little else.
We haven't received relief aid for 9 months. Relief organizations have stopped coming here, and because there's a curfew in place, people cannot get out to work. The camp needs food, medicine, carpet, blankets, and much more.
Most of the people in the camp are women and children. Finding food is a daily struggle. Drinkable water is rare. So is a decent education for the young. These are their homes. This is what happens when it rains. Yemen has been at war since 2015 when Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates started a conflict with the Houthi Shia group that had taken power by force in the capital Sana'a. According to a recent report by Human Rights Watch, more than 17,000 civilians have been killed and injured, and more than 20 million are facing food insecurity. Of those, 10 million are at risk of famine. And now this, the threat of coronavirus.
This is a dangerous disease that threatens the whole world, so we must protect ourselves and our children.
The first confirmed infection in Yemen was announced last week.
We have suggested a few measures that include distancing between tents and preventing gatherings with support from UNICEF. But we need sanitary equipment, medicines, and to train our staff on how to dispense the needed care in case of an outbreak of the disease.
This camp is just one of many across Yemen. There are 10 more in this province alone. In the northern region of Hajj, the Khudash camp is another instance of the misery that war can bring. Yemen is already one of the poorest countries in the region. It's now divided between warring sides, foreign and local. The conflict is hampering the work of relief organizations. The UN has called for a humanitarian ceasefire to allow aid to be brought in and anti-coronavirus measures implemented. Saudi Arabia announced a ceasefire that was to take effect earlier this month. But new Saudi air raids and fighting on the ground have been reported by Houthi official media. It means the continuation of a war that has destroyed almost everything. Its primary victims are too young to act or even to understand. The United Nations says more than half of the 24 million people in Yemen who need humanitarian help are children. Their future and that of Yemen as a viable state could be at risk unless a resolution to the conflict is found. Mohammed Val, Al Jazeera.
That was the WinFM Headline News, brought to you by KDP Enterprises, Caribbean Alliance, Carrie Brewery, CNC Trading, The Grange.
Protect your lifestyle with Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Till you walk with a low reputation and service for second to none. Securing you is our mission. People that you can trust, your business, property, we got you covered. Motor or personal, whatever it is, we got you covered. 130 years in this business, we've got you covered. For all your insurance needs, visit or call us at 465-2631 or 469-5303. Delia Walwyn, people you can trust.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world. Whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous, you can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air. We get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises, telephone number 466-9595.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts, offering 24-hour nursing, therapeutic and residential care for older adults? It's situated at Otley, 7 miles east of Vastair in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodation to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020, fax 466-8221, or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com, or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Without limits, happy and free. The skin you're in with no apology. The one to seize the day. Grab an LLB. Live, love, be. With LLB. Live, love, be. Live, love, be. Be who you know you can be. Grab an LLB. Live, love, be. Angostura, lemon, lime, and bitters. Live, love, be.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM. Win FM weather.
Well, very good afternoon to you. You're listening to Win FM 90.9. We now take a look at your weather forecast. Compliments Sweet Cane.
When is the last time that you've had lunch or dinner away from home? The ambience of Sweet Cane on Port Zante provides you with that touch. Sweet Cane daily specials include burgers, wraps, soup, and tasty seafood dishes. Sweet Cane also caters for events and special parties. Call our Sweet Cane hotline at 465-4345 or 665-7628. Sweet Cane, they've got the touch.
Win FM weather.
Well, the weather forecast for today, sunny conditions and a slight chance of showers today. Winds will be easterly at 8 to 16 knots or 15 to 30 kilometers per hour. Seas will have waves 4 to 6 feet high, 1.2 to 1.8 meters. Sunset today, 27 minutes after 6 o'clock. Sunrise tomorrow, 5:53 a.m. Today's temperatures are high of 88 degrees Fahrenheit and 31 degrees Celsius. So, that's the weather forecast for today. A partly sunny, partly cloudy, a mixed bag for you. And of course, the weather forecast came to you. Compliments Sweet Cane.
When is the last time that you've had lunch or dinner away from home? The ambience of Sweet Cane on Port Zante provides you with that touch. Sweet Cane daily specials include burgers, wraps, soup, and tasty seafood dishes. Sweet Cane also caters for events and special parties. Call our Sweet Cane hotline at 465-4345 or 665-7628. Sweet Cane, they've got the touch.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.